I think we're up and live, and I'm using my new microphone. But I'm also kind of wanting to, you know, turn up the music, maybe give us some background introduction music, because I'm kind of new to this whole concept of intros and stuff. Welcome tonight's Friday Night with Anthony White. I am the Orange Tie Guy, Anthony White, and I explained a little bit ago on my profile why I'm wearing my mask. I'm testing out my new beautiful little blackout blue Yeti. I know people are like, what do you mean blue? This is black. It is. It's actually, that's the color of it is blackout, and it's actually the brand, which is Blue Yeti. So that's kind of nice. I'm kind of getting things kicked off in the new year in the sense of trying to figure out new ways to go about creating my posts. And one of them is in this little ambiance. I got a screen over here. I've got lights. I've got my phone here just in case I need to, listen or see some comments on Facebook, because as of right now, I'm actually pretty bad. The previous watching, I didn't see the comments, so that was kind of unfortunate. Oops. But anyway, we'll see if I can see these posts and I can be effective on it in this way. So tonight, I wanted to talk about something more specific, and I'm actually going to play around with my software that I've kind of invested in. Over the years, as the Orange Tie Guy, I've kind of invested in a lot of different things. And one of them more specifically was basically software, lighting, all of those details. But what I want to do is I've actually created kind of a little get up, or I guess the word would be ghetto at this point, system of being able to have like a whiteboard or something to be able to draw on. And as of a long time ago, and I'll adjust my camera a little bit just slightly here, celestial dating was and still is my main topic and or priority is celestial dating. But I've also created a company that is CGSI, or at least in that process. Come get some instruction. So for me, my introduction or my invitation to people is really just to do that, come get some instruction. And I often talk about with Friday Night with Anthony White, celestial dating, because celestial dating is really, a big topic when it comes to Fridays, because a lot of people, when it comes down to it, they either are dateless or they are lacking in a date, I guess would be the way of saying it. But I gotta tell you, this is my whole focus and purpose, is to try and help people to really, if nothing else, get over that insecurity of not knowing, and to be able to focus on, okay, what can I do? Where am I at and what's going on? Well, I have online training. That's one of the things that I'm a huge proponent of, is instruction. I love it. I love to give it. I love to receive it, feedback. Even when I'm, doing a terrible job amongst a lot of other people, maybe they're like, Anthony, yeah, that's no bueno. What's that all about? But for me, I want to be able to serve, to help, to give, right? Well, I've learned this simple fact that I've been giving a lot of free, and I've actually neglected a few responsibilities. So my actual purpose of creating courses at this point in time is really, in essence, to take care of my mom. That's the truth of it. Pay for remodeling in her home, to be able to make sure that she's taken care of and that there's not any issues when it comes to her life. We've had discussions in the past and even currently, where it's just always an issue, and money's always that key indicator. Well, guess what? Welcome to reality, right? We all have money issues, or at least if we didn't or don't now, we might have in the past. We might in the future, right? Maybe we're a hedge fund child or something, and we don't have that issue. But truth be told, I think we all have those issues. So, looking at this and kind of, observing or paying attention to this, I wanted to kind of touch on a couple of things. I got to get me some whiteboard markers, because that's what I'm going to be doing right now. It's going to be writing down a couple of things. But when it comes down to its specifics, I want to be able to say and really boil it down to this idea of roles, right? What's my role? That's a truth, right? So what's my role? And that would be really where it's at. It's the my role. Far too many people don't realize when it comes down to its specifics, we don't realize that we each have roles in our lives. So, for example, I have the role of being a son, right, to my mother, my father. I also have a role when it comes to, maybe being an uncle or brother or sister or something like that. A role, I would say, if you belong to a church, right, a disciple, right, or a congregation member or something to that effect. We each have roles as an employee, right? Maybe in customer support. I have a lot of experience in the past with customer support and people that are upset, right? They call in and they're like, why did you charge me this? Or what's going on here? Or, they're just frustrated. Well, everybody's got that role that they take on. Well, that's not just the role that we have, it's also something in essence of what comes with that role. And typically with that role, it boils down to and comes to also a responsibility. So we've got responsibilities, right? So it comes to, and those kind of go hand in hand with each other, and that's something that I'm very aware of, is that we have our roles and responsibilities. As a son, right, there are certain responsibilities that I carry as a son. There are certain responsibilities that I carry as a brother, right? When I get married, there will be a responsibility as a husband, as a father, right? As a community member, as a church member, right? It's interesting because even the role of like a sports fan, right? It seems like all the, well, here in Utah at least, the antithesis of each other is the red versus blue, right? It's interesting because it's like, well, who are you rooting for? Which color are you? This kind of sense. And it's fascinating. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess that's politics too, red versus blue. That's sad, but yeah, apparently it's true. Cool. But it's that idea of, okay, you have your role, you have your responsibility. And I find it interesting because sometimes we forget ourselves. We forget ourselves of what is my role here at this point in my life as to what's going on. What's my role? And what's my responsibility? And I think as people, as a community, as a world, right, as human beings, that we have a role and we have a responsibility. It's fascinating to me because there are far too many people out there that downplay their role or their responsibility. The problem is that it comes down to one essential factor that I've found that it plays across the entire board itself, and the entire problem or the situations that it comes down to is basically comes down to this question right here. And the question is, who am I? That's the question. And it's crazy because with this question of really kind of essentially saying, who am I? This is often how people define their role or their responsibility rather than one that's given to them. Because they feel, in essence, that potentially they could be, it could come across, how do I say this, as an obligation. That they feel that they're obligated to be something, right? I could have friends around me and like again, I'm a friend to lots of people. I've got a lot of friends. It's interesting because on Facebook it's very rare, and it's actually only been this last probably year that I've actually reached out to people that I don't know personally to actually friend, if you will, on Facebook, right? Because typically that's kind of what I've seen as a Rolodex, if you will. And I know that I think Facebook caps it at like 5,000 friends or something. But I created a page. So now I actually have the Orange Tie Guy. I've got an actual page for the Orange Tie Guy, even though on my profile, it says life coach, thought investment encourager, motivational speaker, and the Orange Tie Guy, servant leader. But the reality behind everything is that We again sometimes are forced or feel that way or compelled that we are obligated in a lot of situations. Well, that's not the truth in all cases. It's the fact that you have 100% control and choice over what obligations you want to take on. Now, a lot of people will try and manipulate you and say, well, it's your obligation, it's your duty, right? Well, you choose that. I've come to recognize again, who am I? Right? My role and responsibility. Who am I? What defines me? And it's interesting because based off of religion, culture, mantras, right? We all have our own motivations as to why we do what we do. Myself, as someone who believes and worships God in heaven, I want to do what's right for all of the people around me and myself. And it's interesting because I could do something that I feel is beneficial to others and myself to be able to help and to serve. And yet somebody else can come from a different perspective and they can say, you're not doing any good doing that. How dare you? Well, I've recognized that in our dark world today, one of my roles and responsibilities is to spread light. I'm lacking it as far as around me because I've learned with lighting and contrast I need to have, something so you guys can see my face. And it's probably not the greatest of, ambiances, but I know that if I was to turn on my light above, it would probably illuminate way too much and my face looks, weird. Can't see the contrast in my face. But it's an interesting concept to be able to grasp and to realize, you know what? Yeah, I've got a role. I've got a responsibility. But it's really discovering, who am I? Because if I don't know who I am, then it's very likely, or if I don't really recognize that, then it can be difficult. So let me tell you who you are. First and foremost, you're a human being. Straight up. Secondly, you're someone's child. So you have value. And I think you don't realize your value. And that's one of those big, massive problems that we have in the world today, especially because we're kind of stuck in front of a screen, right? We're not able to go out and interact with other people. But that's a huge, huge reality check for so many people that may not have that perspective. So I'm here to remind you, if nothing else, let me remind you that simple and straightforward, you have value. So you are valuable. And the interesting truth behind your value is the fact that even with myself, I'm in this new game, right? This new game of marketing. And I gotta tell you, it's super weird. I don't like the idea of, catching hooks and this and that and whatnot. And for the most part, my intent with Friday Night with Anthony White is not necessarily just to share concepts and ideas. It's to really just give, If people were to, and once I get my system all functioning and effective, people can ask questions. I can answer them. And I want to do that. But then there are those moments where I have people who have a difficult time asking these questions in public or in front of other people, especially because it's often personal. It's something where it's like, you know what? I feel rejected. I feel alone. I feel like somebody doesn't love me. Well, I'm here to tell you I love you. Okay? And that could be a whole different video another time, but the truth is that I value you. I care about you. Now, a lot of people, unfortunately, don't understand sometimes when it comes to this concept of value or love, even. They think to themselves, oh, well, if you love me, then you would do, and they fill in the blank. And it's like, no, me loving you doesn't mean that I'm going to do everything you want me to do. Think about it with parents and children, right? If the child gets everything they want, is that helpful or even beneficial to the child? Nope, it's not. But we forget sometimes that we ourselves are very valuable. And it's essential to recognize our value in being able to say, you know what? People are thronging for your attention. Like they all want your attention. I mean, think about it. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, like you name any business, anywhere, they want your time and attention. There are very few places that will say, nope, don't want your business, attention, anything like that. They don't know you, but at the same time, they're like, hey, if you'll promote us or do that, right? I mean, I bought me an awesome Blue Yeti. I love this sucker. Granted, the other ones that, I see higher, I guess you could say, video quality makers, have a different brand, but this is for me. Great. I bought it. I was attracted to it, right? They're happy that I bought it, right? Whether it came with that, additional stuff or not, I just wanted this, really. It came with other stuff and maybe I'll use it later on, but that's what I wanted. And they want me to want this. So guess what? Your value, just looking at something, is of great worth, right? And it's interesting to recognize this when we're kind of stuck in a slum, when we're stuck and we feel unwanted, unloved, unaccepted, or invaluable, or I should say, not valuable. Well, you are valuable. And if nothing else, you can recognize simply that people would love your time and attention, but it's how do you give it? I think I'm going to post and create another one tonight. This is more of a catch-up from last week because I know I'm a sinner. I missed last week and posting Friday Night with Anthony White. He got crazy busy with work and what I was doing and basically creating this, if you will, ambiance and atmosphere to be able to make sure I'm getting these quality, well, hopefully up to par, in my opinion, quality videos to you, but it's also the content. I want to make sure you recognize your value, that you have immense value, that there are people out there looking for you. That's what's interesting. There are people that want you, your type of personality, your little quirks. Me, my laugh, it's funny because I think it's actually probably annoying, when I'm watching a movie or I think something's funny and I laugh out loud about it. And it's funny, I was laughing around my mom and my mom just stopped once and she said, I love your laugh. And I thought, that's kind of a weird thing to say. But it's interesting because guess what? She said it and it was like, wow, thanks. Because me, I don't think about it. It's just something that's natural and it happens. I don't like, practice my laugh. Ho, 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 or hee, hee, hee. No, I don't do that. I laugh, right? It's like speaking, whether or not I like my voice and I want to adjust it or, la, 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 right? It's like, what am I going to do, like to make myself a certain way so I fit in or look right or sound right? No, I'm just going to be me. Because guess what? Again, when it comes down to it, not just me, but we're all valuable. And it's recognizing our value that helps us recognize certain roles and certain responsibilities to be able to help us. Now, don't get me wrong, roles and responsibilities don't say, oh, this is who I am. No, that's not the case. Who you are is defined by you. It's all about you. It's not by other people or anything like that. This is all about you defining and determining for yourself and saying, you know what? Yeah, I am of value. And it's being able to find that. So the orange tie guy stands for optimistic, receptive, attractive, nurturing, genuine, enthusiastic. I gotta tell you, is my voice attractive? I don't think so. Is my hair or, my bags under my eyes attractive? Yeah, I'd say no. But when it comes down to it, I've made friends over the years, and I probably wouldn't make friends if I wasn't attractive. And I'm not talking about physically attractive or sexually or emotionally or, fill in the blank. Somewhere, in some way, I'm attractive. And that's what brings friends. It's super weird, and it actually kind of drives me nuts, but I get these I think they're like catfish or something, some stupid verbiage where, people create a fake profile, right? And they're supposed to be like some hot chick. And I guess it's probably because I'm a single male, 40, And so it's like targeting me or something, where someone will create a profile, and it's fascinating. I don't know these people. They're showing these, cleavage shots, and I'm thinking to myself, this is stupid. Why in the world now? Here's what's funny. If I was attracted to that stuff, then sure, great. Then I'd probably, hey, thanks, I accept, or whatever. No. When people send me invites to be friends, first off, if I don't know you, I'm probably not going to, accept your friendship. You can go to my Facebook page, Anthony D. White, or you can go to, the Orange Tie Guy. You can even go to Celestial Dating and follow me on those things. But ultimately, if I'm going to friend someone, I'm going to friend my friends, people that I know. Now, don't get me wrong, I've reached out a couple times to people who was like, you know what? I like you, like what I'm seeing you put online or share. I'd like to be your friend, You come across as someone that's awesome. And it's interesting because it's few times that happens, not often, but often again, when it comes down to it, who are you attracted to? Who are you attracting? Are you attractive? Now, I can talk about that another time, maybe just a little bit later tonight on a different post, but right now I want you to recognize you're of value. You, the person who might be overweight, right, that has acne, person that feels like, oh my goodness, I'm so drained and I have no desire to do anything else but watch, stuff on Facebook or, Netflix or whatever else, right? You got value. But it's being able to embrace it, to find it and to say, you know what? Yeah, I do. Whether you're a mother, whether you're a father, whether you're a brother or a sister, whether you're a friend. It's interesting because I am grateful that I have friends that can reach out to me and ask me for help, because that adds to my value and it helps me to recognize I can help them. I can do that. And this is one way that I'm able to show other people, whether you know me or not, that I've got value, because I'm being able to share little pieces. You can find this somewhere else. You can find it from another person, totally. But it's not the same. Because I'm Anthony White. I'm the Orange Tie Guy. I'm the one that's sharing my experiences and thoughts in reference to the fact that, we each have roles. We each have responsibilities. We each have value. And recognizing and owning that value is so, so important. Because again, when it comes down to it, I've recognized far, far too many people are stuck trying to answer this simple question. Who am I? Who am I? They're trying to find their value. They're trying to find, where do I fit in with roles or responsibilities? Where am I? Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? And I got to tell you, that's up to you. That's your choice. But you've got value. So with this quick little catch-up video, this is that second, if you will, video of the year, 2021. But I'm Anthony White, the Orange Tie Guy, and I hope this has helped. But I'm going to try to be dedicated on doing my Friday nights with Anthony White as I'm getting my, I don't know if I would call it my shooting space, my lair, my, whatever studio area all set up for you. But I hope this is helpful and beneficial to you. Definitely, if you want to follow me, I'm going to do more. I'm kind of committing to myself to do more when it comes to the Orange Tie Guy and Celestial Dating. And I think I'll probably do my Friday night with Anthony White. See, I'm having a hard time here. I'm probably just going to post it on Celestial Dating, because I think there's a lot of people that need to recognize validation and acceptance, the difference between who you are and the value you bring and what people are trying to throw on your shoulders. But we'll see if that's tonight. But we'll do that about, 30 minutes from now, but later on. But I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching with me. If anything, I guess the word would be thanks for enduring, my whole concept here. But again, I'm Anthony White, the Orange Tie Guy, and I hope you are having and do have a wonderful rest of your day.